Hello everyone, welcome to the Department of Electrical Engineering from Gurukul Education Society. Myself, Professor T.V. Thakur, and I am here to discuss the topic of illumination and electrification of building from semester 5th of Electrical Engineering Department. So, we will discuss about the topic illumination and the laws of illumination. So, the first question arises in our mind that what is illumination? So, when the light falls on the surface, it becomes visible, and this phenomenon is called as illumination. So, first of all, what is light? So, the light is defined as the radiant energy from a hot body which produces the visual sensation upon the human eye. म्हणजे जेव्हा एखादा लाईट सोर्स असेल किंवा सन असेल त्याचं जे काही रॅडिएशन्स होत असतील ते आपण डोळ्यांनी व्हिज्युअलाइज करू शकतो. अशा गोष्टीला आपण काय म्हणतो आहे, लाईट म्हणतो आहे. आणि समजा त्याचं एक्झाम्पल असेल सन, जसं सनरेज आपल्या सरफेसवरती जेव्हा इन्सिडेंट होतात तेव्हा आपण त्या आपल्या डोळ्यांनी किंवा आपल्या ह्युमन आईने आपण ते ऑब्झर्व करू शकतो. त्या फिनॉमिनलला आपण इल्युमिनेशन असं म्हणतो आहे. सो वेन लाईट फॉल्स ऑन अ सरफेस इट बिकम्स विजिबल. This phenomenon is called as illumination, and the illumination is also defined as, in illumination term, that luminous flux falling on a surface per unit area. So let us consider the surface is our wall and the radiant body or radiated energy is from the light source. So the light is a form of radiant energy. So it is defined as luminous flux falling on a surface per unit area, and it is denoted by capital E, and it is measured in lumen per square meter or meter candle. Its unit is also called as lux or lumen. So it is mathematically expressed as E is equal to phi upon A, means phi is the notation for luminous flux and A is the notation for surface per unit area. So A is denoted by area. So the illumination is also called as E is equal to phi upon A. Now next topic is laws of illumination. So the illumination on a surface depends upon the luminous intensity, distance between the source and surface, and the direction of rays of light. And it has three types of laws of illumination. First one is inverse square law, second one is Lambert cosine law, and third one is cos cube theta law. So there are three types, but only two types are more important: inverse square law and Lambert cosine law. So the first question arises in our mind, what is the use of law of illumination in illumination term? So the laws of illumination are used to calculate the illumination, and by two ways: inverse square law and Lambert cosine law. So first we discuss about the inverse square law. Why it is called as inverse square law? So the statement is here. It states that the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of a distance between the surface and the light source, provided that the distance between the surface and source is sufficiently large so that the source can be regarded as a point source. So here is our diagram. बघा, याच्याकडे एक पॉईंट सोर्स एस दिलेला आहे आणि दोन एरिया आपण कन्सिडर केलेला आहे A1 आणि A2. सो लेट अस कन्सिडर अ सरफेस एरिया A1 अँड सरफेस एरिया A2 at a distance of R1 and R2 as shown in figure, and the S is a point source, and we can simply call it as lamp or source. So if a source of light which emits light equally in all direction be placed at a center of a hollow sphere, and the light will fall uniformly on inner surface of a sphere, that means each square mm of surface will receive the same amount of light. So if we consider parallel surfaces which cut the pyramid at different distances from the source, the areas of these surfaces are proportional to the square of these distances, and therefore the amount of light which falls on one unit of area of these surfaces is inversely proportional to the square of a distance from the source, and this relationship is referred to as a law of inverse squares. So now mathematically it can be proved as follows. So let us consider a surface area A1 and surface area A2 at a distances R1 and R2 respectively, and a source point S of a luminous intensity I and normal to the rays as shown in a figure A, and let the solid angle be subtended by omega stay radians. So the unit of solid angle is stay radian and the luminous intensity is denoted by I. So the total luminous flux radiated is equal to I into omega lumens. So the illumination on surface of area A1 can be calculated by the formula or by the definition of illumination that state that the illumination can be defined as the ratio of luminous flux to the surface area. So as we can observe from previous slide, so the total luminous flux radiated is equal to I into omega lumens. So the luminous flux can be denoted by I into omega and the surface area is A1. So the surface area is denoted by A1. So the illumination on the surface of area A1 we can get by the formula of illumination, luminous flux divided by area. So luminous flux is denoted by I omega and area is denoted by A1. So the formula for area A1 we get E1 is equal to I into omega upon A1 lumens per unit area. And from the statement we get A1 is equal to omega into R1 square. So therefore we can put the value of A1 in the previous term of illumination on the surface of area A1. We can get the illumination on surface of area A1 as E1 is equal to I into omega divided by omega into R1 square. From the value of A1 we can get A1 is equal to omega into R1 square. So the omega and omega get cancelled, then the value of E1 is equal to I upon R1 square lumens per unit area. Similarly, illumination on the surface of area A2 is also calculated similarly as area A1. So the illumination is defined as the ratio of luminous flux to the area. So here the area is A2 and luminous flux is denoted by I into omega, and we can calculate A2 as similar as A1. So A2 is also denoted as equal to omega into R2 square. So we can put the value of A2 in this equation. So we can get the value of E2. So the E2 is equal to I into omega divided by omega into R2 square. And from the above equation, same as the omega is get cancelled in this equation. So the value of E2 is get E2 is equal to I upon R2 square lumens per unit area. Hence, from the equation of E1 and E2, we can calculate the value of illumination on any surface. Hence, the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the surface and the light source, provided that the distance between the surface and the source is sufficiently large so that the source can be regarded as a point source. Now we can see the second law of illumination, that named as Lambert cosine law. So this law can be stated as, according to the law of illumination at any point on a surface is proportional to the cosine of an angle between the normal at that point and the direction of a luminous flux. So we can observe our figure. It also denoted by point S, means it is a point source S, and the inclination are given and the point are denoted by A, B and C. So according to this law, the illumination at any point of a surface is proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at that point and the direction of luminous flux. Many times the illuminated surface is not normal to the direction of the light as shown by AC in figure, and it make an inclination as shown by line AB. So the line AB is an inclination and we can simply call it as reflected light from point source. The AC point is a surface. Let us consider the AC point is a surface and the AB line or the CB line is a inclination. So the point source is considered S. So let us, it is for example, let us we can take so it makes an inclination as shown by line AB, and the area over which the light is spread is then increases in the ratio of AB upon AC by the formula of cos theta. So the cosine of angle theta is given by the formula of adjacent line divided by to the hypotenuse. So the angle is considered as shown in above figure. The theta angle is considered between A, B and C. So as the formula states that cos theta is equal to adjacent side upon hypotenuse. So the adjacent side is AB. No, the adjacent side is AC and the hypotenuse is AC. So we can get the formula AB upon AC is equal to 1 upon cos theta, or the illumination is also get by this formula. So by rearranging the equation of cos theta, we can get AB upon AC is equal to 1 upon cos theta, and the illumination is decreases in the ratio of cos theta upon 1, and we can get the illumination for Lambert cosine law E is equal to I into cos theta upon R square, because the statement of illumination is the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of a distance between the surfaces and a light source.